have to be able to get around, and that's what the second form helps do. It helps you be able to be more mobile and to counter-attack someone who has a very good straight line.
It's just to elaborate on it, it's called the centre line theory. It's one of the key principles of Wing Chun. And the first one teaches you that centre line theory. You've got to have real precise accuracy. So as Darwin's just said, if you've got two people that have got a very good first form and a very good centre line, and they're both very accurate, you need some way of getting around it. And that's what the second form, one of the things the second form teaches you.
Right. So,
Right. So, can we talk this through?
okay. So, now we're moving on to the progression. So we've seen the two forms. Everything, these are building blocks of which we build our system on. Now, what we're doing, we are practicing what we call single hands. Again, you can see punches, common for all themes that we've seen so far. But the difference is now, what we're looking for is training our sensitivity, and in a way, these two people are communicating with each other, but in an automatic way. So someone is automatically punching, and someone's automatically responding. Now, do you think they would be able to move quite as quickly if they had to think about every single step that they do? So again, the calmness, empty mind, relaxation helps their bodies, not their minds, react in a way that will help them defend themselves. This isn't fighting, by the way. This is just training. This is learning that sensitivity. Progressing on from that, once you've built up enough efficiency of doing single hands, we have double hands. So, as you can see, this is called rolling hands. Again, we are looking at sensitivity. Can you see where the wrists are touching? That's where we're looking for the sensitivity. One thing that you may or may not notice, unlike the punches where it's obvious they're trying to punch in a straight line, actually what they're trying to do is discover each other's centre line. One person is trying to get to, say for instance Daniel's trying to find the centre line into Martin. Martin is trying to find the centre line into Daniel. And in that way, they cross paths, and at that point, that's where the sensitivity comes in. And if someone makes a mistake, then what do you think the response would be? Thinking that we're thinking about automatic things, autonomous things, reaction. So if someone makes a mistake, just that tiny little gap, that tiny little allows someone to come in and punch without thinking about it, without making it happen. It happens all by itself, and I believe that's a quote from Bruce Lee as well. This is what we call a lap side drill. This is a bit different from punching, isn't it? Do you see a punch in there? You don't see the punch in there. Okay. Reese, what do you think about this one then? Would you say that's a punch? Again, this is training. Again, fundamentally our punches. What you see, this elbow coming up, it's called a bong. So one person is trying to deflect the punch by turning the wrist and deflecting the punch away from their centre line. And as you can see, as they develop that sensitivity, also checking the structure all the time, They've now moved into, I think, a drill called 5 elements. Again, the purpose is trying to find the gap, one person trying to find that gap. Constantly feeding the other person punches so they can use their sensitivity to, in a way, deflect from those punches and give a response. On from those structured type of drills, where we saw people in their structure on the horse stance, trying to find that perfect bite, always trying to find it. Moving on from that, we are now going to apply that into a more free, realistic environment. Again, this is not necessarily direct fighting. Fighting is unpredictable, it's dangerous, and we don't do that because we want healthy training partners who can train with week in, week out. Okay, so Dan will explain what's going on.
As Darwin said, we call this free play. They're looking for openings, they're looking for shots, they're looking for locks and takedowns. They're not trying to hurt each other. It's not an actual fight, but it is simulating what a fight would look like. As you can see, it's a lot more dynamic, it's a lot more free, but they are looking for the techniques that some of the techniques that we've been showing you earlier. And there's Darwin on the floor. What they're trying to focus on is a lot of the things that we practice. So keeping their elbows forwards, maintaining good body structure. They're looking for openings. Both of them have a lot of shots here that they're not taking because, as Darwin said, we need training partners. We're very careful and measured about how we train with each other. Really what this is doing is preparing you for a fight as opposed to actually having one. This is one of the reasons Wing Chun is great fun.
We're having lots of fun. Oh yeah.
The more that a practitioner progresses through the system, the more these things naturally come out. What they're both trying not to do is to use physical strength. They're trying to use body mechanics. They're trying to manipulate their opponent. But in order to get to this kind of level, we need to do a lot of the drills, the things that we've been showing you before. So we need to do lots of punches, because that loosens us up. We then need to do our forms. That trains the underlying structure, the centre line, the mechanics. We then need to do drills, so these things are automatic. In as Darwin said earlier, Bruce Lee once said, I don't want to think to punch, I want one thing to punch for me. So it's all about muscle memory and doing things automatically. Darwin appears to have won this one. Although it's so weird.
So it's not sport fighting we don't teach, we don't use it in sport fighting.
So there is progression. There's a lot of fun to be had. But unlike other martial arts, which become sports like Taekwondo or karate end up in the Olympics, it's not about titles, belts. This is more about rooting your ability to deal with real life scenarios. Someone bigger than you who's possibly bigger than you, if you find yourself in a dangerous, try to win over a certain time frame, multiple rounds. This is, as I say, based a bit more of real life. You don't want to be stuck in an unsavoury position for very long.
Just to kind of add to that a little bit, with a lot of other sort of competitive sports, if you like karate or judo or boxing, they have rules. You have time limits in rings, things like that. Wing Chun is really teaching you if you really need to defend yourself on the street or something like that, there are no rules there. And really the ultimate aim is you don't want to fight. It's never good for anybody. And as I said at the start, you have time limits in rings, things like that. Wing Chun is really teaching you if you really need to defend yourself on the street or something like that, that there are no rules there. And really the ultimate aim is you don't want to fight. It's never good for anybody. And as I said at the start, there's a lot of other benefits other than just the fighting aspect. It's difficult to see that because that's what we're showing you today, but actually there's a lot of other health benefits to Wing Chun. It's great fun.
It's possible. It's also not just what people would call Wing Chun punches. Wing Chun has lots of punches. You may not have seen them before, but Luke's going to demonstrate punches that we do see. Okay. All of that is in the first form. Now, would you have guessed you could do all of that by standing there, doing this? No. But that's how we keep ourselves sharp and structured and balanced and calm. Because when someone comes at you like Luke, punching at 100 miles an hour, you need to stay really, really calm. Okay.